Hello. Today we're doing the Divine Code reading for June 29th. That's pages 43 and 44. In short, the written Torah and the oral Torah are inseparable. There is total interdependence between them. This affects not only the Jewish Torah law and practice, but also the Torah's Noahide Code. In the written Torah, there are only 3 explicit verses containing precepts addressed to Noah and his descendants. Genesis 9, verses 4 and 6. This would be, nevertheless, flesh with its lifeblood you shall not eat. However, the blood of your souls I will demand an account. From the hand of every beast I will demand it. From the hand of man, even from the hand of man's own brother, I will demand an accounting of man's soul. He who spills the blood of man, though man shall his blood be spilled, through man shall his blood be spilled. For in the image of Elohim he made man. So that's this short section in the written Torah that is clear, explicit instructions given to the sons of Noah, to Noah and to his descendants. And so if we were relying solely on the written Torah, that's what we would have. Even these 3 require traditional interpretations to extract their precise meanings. Without the oral Torah tradition, it is equally impossible to have a codex for the universal precepts relating to Gentiles. So without a tradition, without a exclamation, what we have in the Bible would not suffice. We could either come with no exclamation from it, or we could make up our own exclamation. But there needs to be an exclamation that has been given down with the written Torah in order to understand it. To be sure, the prescriptions of the Noahide Code are, on the surface, self-evident principles required for appropriate, that is, civilized conduct. Common sense would seem to be sufficient to dictate their observance. Any rational person will readily concede that murder, stealing, illicit sexual relations, and the absence of an authoritative legal system, and so far, are harmful to human survival. It is impossible to have a society based on anarchy, with all people acting as they please. Thus, from time immemorial, in places where the Noahide Code was forgotten, all groups of human, from the most primitive to the most sophisticated, still devised some legal code of rules to define acceptable and unacceptable behavior for internal governance. So there's something logical, there's something that just makes sense, that there is a system of rules, that there is some kind of a government system, and every society throughout history has put together something in order for themselves to exist, in order for themselves to go on. to function. These man-made systems, however, were and are no more than convenient social contracts to safeguard self-preservation. Individuals or societies that adopt them were indeed wise, for they serve practical or utilitarian purposes. They do not constitute, however, a sense of enduring morality, and they are more certainly devoid of any true religious significance. So societies that came up with these with precepts, logically, they didn't do it because they were God-given. They did it because it made sense. There's something within the human that just logically gravitates towards these precepts. But unless there's an awareness of it, it's not considered an enduring thing, because if they logically went to something, they could logically go away from it as well, as we see people inside society throughout history coming up with logical reasons to do something besides the godly precepts. This then is the substance of the ruling by Rambam, Maimonides, cited above to introduce our theme. Piety, repentance, righteousness, and reward are hereafter of a reward of a hereafter are religious concepts. They have meaning in religious context only. The very idea of a Noahide code per se then presupposes acknowledgement of both the written Torah and its inseparable corollary of the tradition of the oral Torah. Without these, there is no authentic Noahide code. Without the foundation of a firm belief in the revelation at Sinai of both the written text of the Torah and the authentic tradition of its explication, there is no code prescribing a truly moral or religious system for mankind. Proper observance and understanding of the details of the Noahide commandments therefore presupposes explicit acceptance of both the written Torah and the oral Torah. So societies can come up with what seems logical, and that's beneficial to the functioning of society. It's not negative in that sense, but the extra amount that's required, to go into what we would consider a religious understanding, connecting to the divine, connecting to eternity, doing things in the proper way, require a acceptance of the Torah, both the written and the oral Torah. Thank you.